Hi everybody, today we are going to study homogeneous system of linear equation. In that, first we define homogeneous system of linear equation. A system of linear equation Ax is equal to b is said to be homogeneous if b is equal to 0. That is, in that system all right side element which is constant matrix should be equal to 0. Then the system will be called as a homogeneous system of linear equation. Otherwise system is called non-homogeneous system. If b is not equal to 0, so it is known as homogeneous system, non-homogeneous system of linear equation. Okay, in general it can be represented as homogeneous system as a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a13 x3 plus so on up to a1n xn is equal to 0, which is, if we see this, you can see that it is our general system of linear equation. In that, right side is b1 b2 b3 and in homogeneous system it will be equal to 0. Okay, which is our general form of homogeneous system of linear equation. Okay, that is Ax is equal to 0. Okay, if in a homogeneous system xi is equal to 0 for all I is equal to 1 to n, then solution is called then solution is called trivial solution. That is, for this system, if we get all the values of xi equal to 0, then it is trivial solution. If any one of it is not equal to 0, then it is non-trivial solution. Okay, so you have to remember that in trivial solution all of the variables value should be equal to 0. Okay, now we have some theorems related to trivial solution, homogeneous system of linear equation. A homogeneous system is always consistent. Okay, that is, the system, homogeneous system has a unique trivial solution or infinitely many solution. Okay, the homogeneous system has unique trivial solution, which is unique trivial solution, which means that it will be all variables will be all equal to 0 and or infinitely many solution. Okay, in homogeneous system there is no any case of no solution or it is inconsistent solution. Okay, next, second theorem is, theorem statement is a homogeneous system in which a homogeneous system in which the number of variables is more than the number of equation has infinitely many solution, Okay, that is, a system with number of variables more than number of equations has infinitely many solution. I think the fill in the blanks related to this will come always in your exam. Okay, so it is a important theorem. Its proof is not necessary for your syllabus, only you have to remember this statement only. Okay, here for example, if you consider x plus y minus 3z is equal to 0 and second equation as x minus 3z is equal to 0, then this system has number of variables is equal to 3 and number of equation is equal to 2. Okay, so this system has infinitely many solution. We don't do not do any calculation. We directly write it as infinitely many solution. Okay, it is homogeneous solution because right side is equal to 0. Okay, so by this theorem we can directly say that if number of variables is greater than number of equations, then it has infinitely many solution. Okay, next definition is elementary matrix. A square matrix of order n cross n is called elementary matrix if it is obtained by applying a single elementary row operation on the identity matrix In. Okay, so this is known as elementary matrix, and we know that elementary row operations are, first you know that it is Rij, which is interchange of rows. Second row operation is k into Ri, and third operation is Ri plus krj. Okay, these are our elementary operations. Okay, elementary row operation. So for example, if we consider E1 is equal to 1 0 0 3. Okay, in this example we have to check whether it is elementary matrix or not. Okay, so here matrix is 1 0 0 3. If we apply R2 into 3, okay, or 3R2 for which is of order 2 by 2. Okay, this matrix is of order 2 by 2. So here we have to apply 3R2 on identity matrix of 2 order. Okay, so if here I2 is equal to 1 0 0 1 and we apply 3R2, so this matrix, after applying elementary matrix, we get 1 0. For second it multiplied by 3, it is 0 3. Okay, so we get E1 matrix. So E1 is obtained by only one elementary row operation on identity matrix of order 2, which is 3R2. Okay, so we can get elementary matrix 1 0 0 3. Okay, so we have only apply only one single elementary row operation, which is this. Okay, so this type of examples or these types of matrix are known as elementary matrix. Or you can take another example as, now in this example it is 1 minus 2 0 1. So we have to apply identity row operation on I2, so that we have to want 1 minus 2 0 1. Okay, so what will be our row operation? Here it is 1, here it is 0. Okay, and here it is minus 2 1. So there is no change in first position. There is no change in A11 position. There is only change in A12 position. So here it will be row operation R1 minus twice R2. Okay, if we apply operation R1 minus 2 R2 on I2, we get 1 minus 2 0 1. Or we here apply here 1 0 0 1 is our I2 matrix. So apply R1 minus 2 R2. So we can write it as 1 minus 0 is 1 and 0 minus 2, because R2 is 1, so 2 into 1 is minus 2. Okay, 0 minus 2 is minus 2, and second row as it is 0 1. Okay, so E2 is our elementary matrix. Therefore E2 is elementary matrix. Okay, or if we consider next example as E3 is equal to matrix 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, this is our next example. We have to check whether it is elementary matrix or not. For that, if you check here, it is of order 3. So I3 is equal to 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay, here matrix first row is 0 0 1, and here last row is 0 0 1, and last row is 1 0 0, and here identity matrix I3 has first row 1 0 0. So R1 is interchanged with R3. If we apply this row operation, so that we can get a matrix E3, okay, which is 0 0 1, second row as it is 0 1 0, and last row will be 1 0 0. So this E3 is also our elementary matrix. Okay. Next theorem is, every elementary matrix is invertible and its inverse is also an elementary matrix. Okay, we have, which is our important theorem. This theorem is asked in previous exams for 5 marks, so this is important to us. In this theorem we need some inverse definition of a matrix and elementary matrix definition. Okay, so in this proof we start with, by elementary matrix, if we apply an elementary row operation on identity matrix, then we get an inverse row operation to obtain original matrix. Okay, so if we consider this example, in this identity matrix we obtained elementary matrix by using row operation R1 minus 2 R2. Okay, so we get a matrix 1 minus 2 0 1, which is our elementary matrix. Again, if we apply a row operation inverse to this, now inverse of this row operation will be here R1 plus 2 R2. Okay, here inverse of this operation R1 minus 2 R2 will be R1 plus 2 R2, so that we have to get identity matrix of order 2. So it will be, after applying this on elementary matrix, we get 1 minus 0 is 1, okay, minus 2 plus 2 will be 0, and second row as it is. So we get an original matrix, which is our identity matrix. Okay, which means that when we applying elementary row operation on identity matrix, then its inverse row operation also obtain original matrix. Okay, now we have the following table of inverse operations. Here we consider two columns, elementary row operation and inverse row operation. In that, first elementary row operation is Rij, which is interchange of row I with Rj. Okay, so its inverse row operation will be Rji, that is, we have to interchange Rj to Ri. Okay, next second operation, we have only three row operations. Second is our k into Ri, where k not equal to 0, condition on k which is not equal to 0. So its inverse row operation will be 1 upon k into Ri. Okay, and third, it will be Ri plus krj. So its inverse, it will be plus, in inverse it will be minus Ri minus krj. Okay, which are our inverse row operations related to elementary row operations. Okay, each row operation, elementary row operation, has inverse row operations also. Okay, from this we can write. Now here we observe from column second that the table or this operation which are again elementary row operations. Okay, for this, if we have example, if we consider this example, it is our elementary matrix. So when we apply elementary row operation R1 plus 2 R2 on identity matrix, we get 1 minus 2 0 1. Okay, there is only row operation, single row operation, which we have applied in identity matrix. Okay, so in this also, if we apply inverse row operations on any matrix, so we can get original matrix again. Okay, so here also, if we apply here this inverse row operation, which we again get elementary row operations only. Okay, and we have corresponding to each elementary row operation there exists a elementary matrix. Now let E be elementary matrix by performing certain row operation on identity matrix, and let E naught be the matrix obtained by applying corresponding inverse row operation on identity matrix. Okay, we have considered two matrices, E and E naught. E as an elementary matrix by applying elementary row operation, and E naught beats a matrix obtained by inverse row operation. Okay, so here we can write E into E naught, E into E naught is equal to I, and E naught into E is equal to identity matrix. Okay, that is E into E naught is equal to identity is equal to E naught into E. Okay, hence E is invertible, and by definition of inverse matrix, E is invertible and E inverse is equal to E naught. Okay, and its inverse is E naught, and also E inverse is elementary matrix. E inverse which we have obtained, which is elementary matrix. Hence proof, which is our required proof. Okay, so please see it carefully. In this theorem, what we have done here, it is only, this is a table which we have required. In this there are only 3 elementary row operations, and which inverse are also possibles. Okay, after that we have consider a matrix E obtained by elementary, which is elementary matrix obtained by a single row operation on identity matrix, and E naught be a matrix obtained by applying inverse row operation on identity matrix only. Okay, so its multiplication E into E naught is equal to I, and E naught into E will be equal to I, and by both are identity matrix right side, so it will be equal to E into E naught is equal to identity is equal to E naught into E, which is our definition of inverse matrix. A inverse is equal to I is equal to A inverse A. Okay, so that A is invertible, and A inverse is equal to here E naught, sorry, E inverse is equal to E naught, and E inverse, as it is an elementary matrix, E naught is elementary matrix, so E inverse is equal to E naught is elementary, so which we have to prove. Okay, now next theorem statement is, if A is a square matrix of order n, then following statements are equivalent. That is, A is invertible, Ax is equal to, if A is invertible, then Ax is equal to 0 has only trivial solution, and A is row equivalent to identity matrix. Okay, these 3 statements are equivalent statement if A is a square matrix. Okay, next theorem is, if A is an invertible matrix of order n, then non-homogeneous system Ax is equal to B, where B is a n cross 1 matrix, which is constant matrix, is consistent and solution is unique. Okay, if A is invertible, then system Ax is equal to B of non-homogeneous system has a unique solution. Okay, which is our next theorem. Only we have to know only statements only. We do not need any proofs of these theorems in your syllabus. It is only statements, so please read it. For example purpose we required these statements. Okay, now next point is matrix inversion method. Okay, in matrix inversion method we have to solve a system of linear equation if A inverses exist. Now consider a system Ax is equal to B. So pre-multiplying by A inverse, pre-multiply by A inverse on both sides, we get A inverse into Ax is equal to A inverse into B. Okay, now here associative law is valid on a matrix, so it can be written as A inverse A operates on X is equal to A inverse B. Okay, by associative law. Okay, now A inverse A, which is our identity matrix, so it can be written as I into X is equal to A inverse B. A into A inverse is equal to identity. Here A inverse exists, so that we can write A inverse, A into A inverse is equal to I. Okay, now here identity matrix into any matrix is again X. Okay, so X is equal to A inverse B. Okay, I into X is equal to X. Okay, so for finding matrix, or to say finding matrix inversion here to finding the solution, we can use this method, matrix inversion method, directly. So by calculation, X is equal to A inverse B. Here we have to find A inverse, and we have to multiply with constant matrix, so that we get a solution of the given system of linear equation. Okay, this is known as matrix inversion method. So okay, this method we will use in next method, LU factorization method. Okay, so we study LU factorization in our next lecture. So today we stop here. Please see the statements and theorems in this lectures very carefully. Okay, we have to use in our next lectures also. Okay, thank you.